Because you gotta realize that kids, right, when they're in school, especially when they're young, they're friends with everybody, right? Because the kid sees itself in everything. Do you understand? Yeah, when you were in school, it didn't matter if the kid was Chinese or fucking Mexican or Indian or had a bogey down your nose or had a cleft fucking mouth or they had Down syndrome or they smelled a bit funny. But like shit, they might have been even walking around with a whole fucking nappy full of shit, but it was cool. That's still my brethren. What do you mean, bro? Like, that's the beauty of that's our true nature, bro. Bro, I'm telling you, you guys think I'm not playing. I like to play, but I'm not playing. That's the real facts, bro. We took our eye off the ball, bro, on some dumb shit. Look at kids, I keep telling you, if you want to understand how the universe works, go and observe, or consciousness works, go and observe the thing closest to it. It will be us in our primary form. Do you understand? Always exploring, always expanding, yeah? Always discovering, yeah? Always on the move, always doing shit, you know? Always trying to do stuff, always trying to like level up. Do you understand? It's like like our standard mode, level up. You know, we're always looking to like get to the next level, get to the next level, get to the next level, you know? And you got muppets sitting around doing nothing. Bruh, like, it baffles me, you know, baffles me that like, anyway, that's another topic for another day. Do you understand? Observe them. They see a mirror and everything, you know? They'll go and hug that person, they'll go and play with that person, they'll go out, they don't care. Like, yeah, they don't think anything can stop them. Do you understand? Because they know it's their reality and they're experiencing it, bro. They have that understanding. It's written in their code. Do you understand? But obviously, as we grow up is actually a key word, actually. We need to delve into that. Grow up is basically the acquisition of layers. Yeah, you've acquired enough masks and enough layers, so now you're grown up. You're covered in barnacles. So you're grown up. Do you understand? Yeah, bro. So that's the real shit, bro. That's the real shit, I have to tell you. You know, we're always seeking our own reflection. You know, we're always seeking our own reflection. You know. And here's the kicker. Regardless of sex, right? There's a version of us that brings us, it feels to us as is the closest to our kind of like original state, yeah? And that's the mother. No, true, or the feminine. True, bro. True. Because that's the portal, of course. Like, bro, let's use our brains, yeah? If we're looking at a door, yeah? And that door, like we're in a place and there's only one door, yeah? So naturally, the door being in existence tells us that that's obviously because you can't find the exit anywhere, yeah? But there's this door. So naturally, we'll always look at that door with a sense of like, I can't explain the word. I don't think there's a word for it. What I'm trying to capture, I don't think there's an English word for it. But it's a deep feeling of kind of like, you feel like it kind of brings you home, you know? But it's still not you, because you're only still seeing your reflection through them. So when a mother's actually being super motherly, or females being super feminine, right? She actually reflects your feminine aspects to yourself. Yeah, so if you're masculine, you still know that that's not really you, but it's the closest reflection. So that means there's another step beyond that. That's actually looking into your own eyes in the reflection, yeah, in the mirror, yeah, confronting your own soul. Do you understand? Like, it's the truth. It's true. You know, so it's, I don't know how to explain this, bro. I don't know how to explain this, so it's annoying me. It's annoying me. Sometimes I can't find the words and it's annoying. You know? Yeah. But yeah, but once you think about it from that perspective, you see. So it kind of, the mother or the feminine, the mother for all of us, because we've all had mothers, it's like our last look into the the void of like nothing, which is all things. It was our last look. Yeah, that's a mother. And it's imprinted in all of us because we all have the anima. It's in us because we are all that thing at the same time. You know, so as much as your mother can feel like home to you and shit like that, you know, and when she's not there, when she dies, you cry and shit like that. But the honest fact is, deep down, you know that there's a separation between you and your mother. Like I don't care what you say. It's true. The only thing you can feel no separation from is yourself. That's the thing you're actually truly bonded with. Do you understand? That's the truth. And most people are afraid of their mothers anyway. Because although you came from her, it also stands to reason, it makes perfect sense that she should actually be the one that's actually more aligned with the ego and flesh. So it's like naturally when we experience trauma from them or they scare us, it sticks with us because it actually shapes the world. That first, how do I say it? That first kind of imprint from her shapes the world around us. It helps us create things here, yeah? Because we need a beginning point. We are consciousness itself, yeah? So we've emerged. So if this place is an animalistic world, or it's this or it's that, the story has to be framed in a very specific way. Do you understand? It has to be framed in a very specific way. And that's what that is. You know, so you see your father, you always see that, yes, he's also imprinted in you. But then straight away it presents the counterbalance between the two sides. You realize, okay, so that's my mother, that's my father, yeah? The game has begun now. You know? Because if there was no door, yeah, or no anchor here, like no way for us to, we would literally like supernova in this place. I can't even explain it to you, bro. Like, trust me, you're so fucking powerful. If you weren't anchored in a story, off rip, you would be creating fucking like, bro. You'd be creating mad. I can't even explain it. The things you create wouldn't even fit here, bro. It would explode the game, bro. So the different energies have to exist. We had to split ourselves into three. We had to. There's no other way. We had to. That's it. In any way. Guys, I'm gonna show you something because yeah, fuck it. Let's look at any video game, yeah, where we go and experience ourselves, yeah. What's the first connection? The first connection is to a power source, yeah. Okay, and then the second connection is to a display, and the third connection is to a controller or to the player, yeah. Splits itself in three just to make the simulation possible, yeah. In the physical realm, it looks like that, but that is just an echo of the actual truth of us splitting ourselves into masculine, feminine, and or north, south, and neutral. Do you understand? Because the magnet doesn't have just two parts, it has three. There is a point where north and south actually will cancel themselves out, yeah. That's what makes the magnet actually work in the first place. Like whatever north is, there has to be an energy that's completely opposite to it, yeah. But it's not south because it can coexist with south and has the south within it. So it can't be the opposite. Do you understand? It's one thing. Opposites are opposites. Once you realize that, you see that, okay, cool. So if the magnet has north and south is not the opposite, then there has to be a part of the magnet itself which allows the two sides to bond, which has to be its neutral side. Yeah? It's common sense. There has to be a common ground which is neutral to both. Bro, let's use our brains. There has to be a common ground to be able to bond those two energies together. And it has to be neutral. It has to allow for the cancellation out of the energies to an extent to allow them to fuse together. But you can't pinpoint it. That's the neutral. That's what we see as a child. It can go anywhere. It's like a cheat code in the game. Children are the ultimate cheat code in the game, bro. And do you know what that neutral energy actually is? It's you actually in form, because you can't be placed in a magnet. You can't be placed there. But you're there. So when, as a kid, think of all the children. Like, bro, the whole world revolves around them. They don't, like, their world is literally just like new. Every day is a new thing. Every single day is something new. They can learn anything. The information just basically, they download it in real time. And humans need to actually be more attentive, you know. Bro, think of the fact that you are multilingual in a household and this kid can speak both languages. Don't you realize that's a literal superpower? Without any formal training, it just watched you and heard you based on instructions and commands. In that space of time, no grown-up can learn that language. Bro, what the fuck are you talking about? Bro, the kids will do this shit in days. Do you understand? In days. And they'll understand all the micro bits of the language and stuff like that, because they're learning it in real time, in that raw state. Do you get it? So we had to split ourselves, you know. We're still here, but we can't be seen because we can't be seen, right? And we have to create two kind of like energies which allow for us to actually be able to replicate ourselves in here. That's how this whole thing works, bro. Literal facts, bro. Literal facts, bro. Literal facts. Literal facts, bro. So it's one of those things that, you know, once you see it, you can't unsee it, you know. And everything on earth obeys that rule. Every single thing obeys that rule. So it's that one thing that's just creating illusions for itself for it to bring itself here. You know, in the 3D human mind, it just looks like, you know, some, bro. Alright, let me stop. I'm just gonna say one thing though, yeah. When people were busy learning, like, and I did as well, full disclaimer, like, I learned science properly, yeah. Now, when we were learning it, there was no part of, well, at least for me, that thought beyond what was being taught, which is bad, really, you know. Because if we actually thought a little bit deeper in class, we would have seen the codes. The codes were right there. And plus, at that time, we were younger. We had more powers more perceptive powers, you know? Like, if they're telling you that, oh, shit, like, you know, the Big Bang and all this other shit, like, why is no one asking, well, how did one explosion manage to create a situation where everything is polarized? But there's a neutral energy that permeates all of it at the same time. Why do we think of that question? That's a powerful question, bro. And no fucking astrophysicist arsehole fucking talking shit talker can talk to me on this, bro. You understand? Alright, you know what, granted, you can have your explosion. Yeah, have it, free. I'm not even gonna fucking rip you a new one for that one. Have the explosion. But let's think one step deeper. How did an explosion, a random explosion in the middle of nowhere, yeah, caused by nothing, yeah, which exploded something, we're not quite sure what that something actually is, right, popped in all directions and stuff, but then out of this all direction stuff, we got all types of stuff, yeah, rocks and moons and suns and planets and stars, and they all follow a very perfect rhythm and shit like that. But not only that, there are two energies that kind of like run through the whole thing. Yeah, it's polarized, but it has a neutral point as well, which just, it's weird. It cancels itself out. It's bizarre, bro. It's really bizarre. Like, how did they create that? Not just for humans, it did it for everything. It did it for everything, bro. That baffles the mind, bro. That in itself would it would have given away the whole game at that time. But we didn't see it. But it's cool. We see it now. So yeah. You have to fractalize yourself first into 3, then into 2. And then from that 2, you can go fucking ham wherever you want to go. You understand? Just like in a video game world. You know. Alright, let me go one step deeper, because yeah, why not? It's a lovely day. Even when you play the game, yeah, you either get to play as player 1, or you can play as 2 players, right? But even in that choice, yeah, there's a neutral force that is beyond all of that, sitting there, right there. Can you see it? It's you, the final architect of the game. You're actually there choosing, okay, I'm gonna go and be a masculine or feminine. Yeah, I'm gonna actually play white or black. Yeah. But then before you did that, the whole thing had to be fractalized into 3. It's bro, it's facts, bro. You're literally in a dream and you're there arguing with me, thinking that you live on a ball. It's all stupidness, you know. It's fear, actually. It's fear. Most people are actually afraid of what's beyond the veil. I live there, bro. It's nice. I live there, bro. I go trekking in the woods beyond the veil. So yeah, there's way more to discover beyond the veil, bro. So we'll see you around. Know that the door is actually human, and knowing that the door is human, i.e. the physical embodiment of what you call your mother, is the door. You realize that it's human, it's temporary, you know. She'll go one day, which means that it wasn't a literal door you came through. It just appears that you came through one. Because how can the door would deteriorate right in front of your eyes, bro? And if that door gets put in the ground, then did you actually come here to a door? Do you see? You're playing 2 roles in 1. Yeah? Okay. So you recognize that the things actually within you, you are home. You are what you're searching for. Yeah? When I say you, I don't mean in a physical obsession sense. I don't mean go and lick the fucking mirror. Lick yourself in the mirror. Or some fucking match. No. Come into the awareness that of what you actually are and how you experience in this place. Bro, literally it's magic, you know? It's literally magic. It's literally magic. You experience so much stuff. So much stuff. It's crazy. You get to see the world from such a, like, amazing...